So in this video, I'm going to show you how to publish Next.js applications onto Vercel. For Next.js applications, you can use any cloud hosting options like Render or AWS. But as you know, the Vercel is the company that is behind Next.js, and they make it absolutely seamless to publish Next.js applications onto their platform. So this is a simple app that I built. It detects emotion based on the text that is typed in. So I can write, I feel excited, and it is going to show the emotions as tags, and it is also going to change the background theme accordingly. And so if I write I feel angry, it is going to show some sort of red color. So this is built using Next.js and Tailwind CSS, and in the backend I'm using Hugging Face's inference library. So the video is already there on my channel. You might want to check it out. But in this video, I'm just going to show you how we can publish this app onto Vercel so that everybody can use it. So to create Vercel account, you'll have to go to vercel.com, and then I'm going to click on sign up, and I'm going to choose hobby. I'm going to say my name is Kaushik, and I can use GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. I would suggest that you use GitHub, but in case you are using email address, then you can do that as well, and then link GitHub after that. So I'm going to show you this process where I'm going to sign up using email, and this is going to send my email. So here you will have to click on this verify link, and you'll have to click on this again, and sign up is successful. It's that simple. So you can go back to this, and here you'll have to put your phone number. So I'm going to choose India, and then after that you have logged in, you'll be seeing this screen where you can connect your GitHub. So how it works is that you publish your projects onto GitHub and then link GitHub with your Vercel account so that you get to pull those GitHub projects onto Vercel. Whenever a new push is made to the Git repository, it is automatically going to detect that change, and it is going to rebuild the project and rebuild the web app. So I'm going to click on continue with GitHub, and it is going to open a pop-up window where you will be asked to log in to GitHub. So here I'm going to use my email ID for GitHub and click on sign in, and that is going to automatically authorize Vercel to pull my Git repositories. So next thing would be to push our web app onto the GitHub and then import it here onto Vercel. So I'm going to open GitHub, and I'm already logged in here. I'm going to click on this button and click on new repository, and here I'm going to give it a name, and I'm going to name it paint my mood. I'm going to leave everything else as it is. This is going to be a public repository, and click on create repository. And these are the commands that we'll have to run on our project directory. So it first asks us to initialize Git repository in this project directory, but we already have Git initialized. We can check that by writing git status, and it says that these are the files that are not staged for commit. So that means this shows that we already have Git initialized in our project directory. But in either case, you can write Git init, and this is going to just reinitialize Git in the existing Git project directory. So when we used the create next app command to create this Next.js project, it also initialized Git on the project directory. So we can add a readme file. I'm not going to add that. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to write git add dot, that is going to add everything that is there in the project directory except whatever files are mentioned in the Gitignore file. Everything will be placed onto the staging area. So I'm going to bring up the sidebar by hitting Command P. In the Gitignore file, we have mentioned that these files are not to be placed in the staging area. So now if I write git status, you'll see that everything is green. That means that all these files are now ready to be committed. Now we can write git commit with a message, and the message can be anything. I'm going to say my first commit and hit enter. So this is going to commit these changes that were staged onto our local repository. So right now we did not push anything to the GitHub. Actually, to work with Git, you don't even require GitHub. Git is supposed to be this distributed system that works by creating metadata within the project directory itself. So what I mean by that is that if I bring up this project directory in the Finder, so I'm going to right click and say reveal in Finder. So that is going to bring up this project directory in Finder. Now there are certain hidden files. So in Mac, what we can do is that we can press shift command dot, that is going to show the hidden files in a folder. And this is the .git folder that gets created whenever we initialize Git in our project directory. And this stores the metadata information that saves information like which files are being tracked, which files are in the staging area, and which are committed, and those kind of things. So that basically is Git. And when we write the command git commit, this is going to commit it in the local repository itself, and that commit is nothing but some changes to the metadata files. And that is how Git is this version controlling system that works in this distributed way. in developer machine itself, and it does not require you to have a centralized server. Now to push it to GitHub, what we'll have to do is that we'll have to add a remote origin. And when we created this repository, a remote origin were created. So we named our project, named our repository with paint my mood, and that is how it created this remote origin. Now if I do run a git status, we'll see that it says working tree is clean, nothing to commit. So everything is in our local repository. Now we are ready to push. So before that, we'll have to add this remote origin. So I'm going to copy that line and paste it here. So now remote origin is added. Now we are ready to push, and we can write this command git push u origin main, and it's going to start publishing it to this GitHub repository. So after that finishes, if I come here and hit refresh, we'll be able to see our project has been published to this GitHub repository. Now I'll go to this Vercel and hit refresh on this. In fact, I did not even have to hit refresh. It automatically detected that there is a new repository that was created and new files were published to that repository. So I'm going to click on import. I'm okay with the name being set as paint my mood. Now remember, we did not upload the .env files to GitHub, but it includes Hugging Face token, which will be required at the runtime for the Next.Js API that we have created. So to mention that environment variable in Vercel, we can mention them here. I'm going to go to the environment variable file, and I can copy the full line. I can just place the cursor on anywhere in the line, and if I hit Command C in VS Code, that actually copies the full line, and I can just place the cursor here and then paste it here. That is going to set the key as HF token and the value as the value that was after the equal sign. This is how we create the environment variables in Vercel, and when in the API, we'll be trying to get the process.env HF token. This is going to make sure that this HF token is available in the environment variable. Now I'm going to click on deploy, and this is going to start building our Next.js application. And just like that, our app is live. Now I can click on this, and it's going to open up our app. So as you can see, we have specified the name as paint my mood, and .vercel app has been added. So if you're okay with that, I would say that you are good to go by staying in their free tier itself. And I'm going to test my app. So I'm going to write I feel happy, and this is going to show the tag and the background color. And I can write Next.js is awesome, which is going to show admiration as the detected emotion. So that is how easy it is to deploy apps on Vercel. Do let me know what kind of video you'd like me to do next, and thank you for watching.